Okay, we're on, everybody. It's a little shaky start here, as Brad will say, but welcome to our dinner with Brad and Jim. Um, you know, I live on Chianti Road, in a very nice part of Chianti Road. The nice young man here, he lives on the dead end of Chianti Road.
I live on the south side, so he's zip code shaming me, but it's fine. It is fine.
However, however, at the dead end of the road, we're having
Yes,
power issues.
we are. PG&E is struggling today, but we have our generators running and all of that kind of fun stuff. But so we're not running actual Wi-Fi. We're running through cellular today. So if anything dropped out, rest assured, we're gonna be right back up, and it should work out. We're pretty confident that we'll have everything back up within a couple of seconds once or if things drop out. So please be patient with us.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not really much
I mean,
we can do about
anyway,
this.
so again, welcome to
Yes,
Dinner with Brad and Jim. We're at Brad's house today, and we're outside again.
it's
It,
freezing, so we have the fire going.
liar. Um, this is it. Um, we're having a beautiful day today, probably in the high 70s, I bet.
It's gorgeous today.
And anyway, so go with the rules.
All right, so what we're going to do is, for those of you that are the first time joining us, we're in Zoom right now. You're muted, but if you have a question, please ask us questions. If you ask us questions that aren't, really timely, but just a question in general, shoot us a question in chat, and then Jude will read it and then ask us the question. If you have something that you want to have us sort of stop, go to your lower button, hit the raise your hand. It's a raise your hand button, and when that comes up, Jude will raise her hand, slow me down. She'll figure out what the heck is going on, and then we'll unmute you, and then you can ask us that question directly. And so, gosh dang it, welcome. So we are at my house today, and it has just been absolutely gorgeous. So we're eating
I
outside.
understand we have a special guest today.
We have a bunch of special guests
Well,
today.
but Mom is on the line.
Mom, mom is out
Hi,
there
Mom.
watching. Hi, Judy. Judy Beard's out there watching today. She was able to log on to the Zoom, and so she's out there with us. Our other special guest, come here, Fred. Come on, you're gonna come up and say hi. Do you want a snack? Everybody's favorite guest when you're watching me cook. Come on, Freddie, all the way up, not just your nose. All right, he's being today. He'll come back around, but we have Freddie with us today as well. And today we're going to be cooking, and I certainly hope you guys have got this recipe going and watched the video. We've got our scallops today paired with my Albarino. Albarino and scallops, one of my favorite food and wine pairings. And correct me if I'm wrong, you have not had Albarino and scallops.
No, I haven't actually, but you have cheese.
We have
I've
some
actually not had.
fantastic cheese.
I got to be honest with you. I've not had a lot of Albarino in the past. Um, quite honestly, I've made one batch of Albarino about, I want to say, maybe 10 years ago for as a project. I never saw it to its completion, other than knowing the name
Mhm.
Albarino. Okay, and so you're going to have to tell me a little bit about it. But first, I want to dive into that cheese. I'm
Let's
sorry.
dive in the cheese. Hopefully you have some aged cheddar. That's the cheese that I've chosen. I'm going to put my glasses on because I found a local aged cheddar. Most people would probably pick Cabot or something like that, a classic 3-year aged
Mm.
cheddar. This one happens to be, I just want to give a little props, a WM Cofield Big MC Kinley cheddar. It's a raw cow's milk from here in Sonoma County. So thank you guys. Well, you didn't give me the cheese, I just bought it, but thank you guys for making cheese in Sonoma County. And I really like it because let's talk about the Albarino real quick. To me, this nose, it's got this nice minerally characteristic or a saltiness up front that's then greeted with some pear. That pear is going to translate to the palate, and that saltiness and pear is why I like it so much with the scallops. But let me get a little bit of my tongue so I can do it proper. So
Mhm.
you've already done it. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
tell me what you're thinking
Well,
there, and I'll do over here.
I'm wondering if you guys are seeing, on the aromatics that I'm seeing. It's kind of interesting. There's almost like a sea breeze going on there.
Yes. Yeah, that's that wet stone or ocean air quality that I just absolutely
Yeah,
love
that's what
about
that's what I'm coming up
Albarino.
with. And you know, it's got that uh,
Mm.
minerally quality on the front, and I'm seeing it goes particularly well with the cheese because the acidity of the cheese of the the sharp cheddar is really nice, complemented with the acidity of the Albarino.
Yeah, the acidity and the ocean air to me are what really makes the whole pairing beautiful. And then it just happens to be some nice pears that run through as the fruit component. So to me, it's that ocean air, the minerally saltiness, briny of the cheese kind of all come together
Yeah, yeah.
is just
Mm.
a classic pairing. Um, Goat milk Gouda, if you guys were with us on our last shows, another classic Spanish cheese besides Manchego that goes good with this. If you're in Spain, it's going to be Manchego, goat milk Gouda, or a sharp
Mm.
cheddar. Um, that's going to be paired up, with your little appetizers
Yeah, yeah.
on there.
And we've got actually.
Mm.
So tell me about it. I mean,
All right.
again, I don't know the varietal. Um, uh, it's in California. It's grown mostly Central Coast, right?
Central Coast, Paso Robles is the only place I can actually get the fruit. I look every year on the Sonoma crop report. I've never seen any commercially grown Albarino in Sonoma County. I believe there is a little bit up in Mendocino as well, but you want it as close to the coast as possible. So this particular vineyard is in the Central Coast down near Paso Robles. You've only got about a 2 mile swath of true coastal climate grapes down there, but you do have some gaps like we do in Petaluma where the fog comes through. So this is in one of those gaps down there in Paso Robles. So it gets that good fluctuation in temperature. It's not just
Diurnal temperature
the
change.
diurnal.
We were off the, and I had it
Yes.
stuck in my mind. I couldn't remember what that phrase was, and he said it's a D word. It's a D word.
It's that diurnal. So
Diurnal.
the large flux, or in layman terms, the large fluctuation of hot temperature and cold
High to
temperature.
low.
High to
It's a
low.
high to low fluctuation. Okay,
That's how I'm just
that's
going to worry about that.
that's the
That's
grape
how
grower
we're going to
talking.
do it.
You know,
That is it.
that's what we worry about. Is the diurnal temperature changing?
And
But
that, as we all know, that really helps the grapes. Where once you get deeper into the Central Valley, it's a much hotter. It's a little bit lower swing between the highs and the lows. So this one gets that nice cool nights because it's in the gap, and that gap is also bringing the ocean air through into the central, and that's helping lay down a little salt.
so where's it grown? I mean, what's your model? Where's it?
All
And
right.
now it's surprisingly, I was surprised to learn tonight, it is a Spanish varietal.
It is a indigenous
I
Spanish
was thinking it
varietal.
was Italian.
Albarino does sound very Italian, not quite as Spanish. But Albarino is an indigenous grape to Spain. Of course, they do grow it in Italy because they grow basically every grape in Italy because they went around the world and grabbed them all and brought them back. But a classic northwestern region in Spain. It's called Galicia. That is on the far side of the Pyrenees. So the Atlantic Ocean is
So it's right
coming.
on the coast there.
It's right on the coast, and it's a very coastal grape, and that's why it's important to grow it on the coast here as well. And so the Pyrenees sort of blocks all of the rain getting to the rest of Spain and pretty much to the rest of the Mediterranean area. So it's very green, it's very Celtic-like on that little swath of Spain. And so it's a cold area. So it's a cold weather grape with lots of rain and moisture, but it gets all that nice saltiness and that helps out with that brininess. It just comes naturally. So classic Spanish white grape varietal, but not used in their cavas
Hmm.
because the cavas are grown more on the Mediterranean side. They have
So
more
it's hotter. Yeah.
Chardonnay style grapes over there. And so back in the day, I used to represent a brand, a great brand, and I'll tell them right now, if you're looking for a classic Spanish Albarino, and I would say the best that you can get in the United States, it's a brand called Gran, Gran Bazan, Bazan, and that would be the benchmark of what I'm trying to recreate here. because I'm just trying to create some of the great wines that I've had around the world. And it's going to have that nice ocean air quality. And when I was fortunate to be there, literally the scallops were jumping out of the ocean onto the plate. And we were having it with Albarino. So scallops and Albarino has a dear place in my heart. I think just like most wine consumers, people that love wine always have the memories of the first time they've tried something. And scallops and Albarino was my first was my first introduction to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's what I love.
Anybody got any questions about Albarino? It's like I said, it's a new varietal for me. I'm not,
The
and I'm thinking, maybe maybe I need to plant some in my experimental vineyard in the cradle just to try it.
Yes,
Oh,
everybody should be
Jude is
saying
nodding yes.
yes. Everybody should. Jim should be, because if anybody can do it out here, Jim's gonna be able to do it.
Well, I'll see if I can get some wood.
I will. I will. You know what? Here's the deal. I'm good friends with the folks out in Grand Basin, and I will
No,
contact them
no, no.
and see if they can.
I'll get some.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
get some.
Get
I'll,
some from Paso Robles.
no, no. I'll get some. I'll look for my sources
Okay. I would.
and
Here's the
see
deal.
if I
You've got a
can.
buyer, because if we had some from out here, I would
Well,
absolutely love it.
it's going to go in the cradle,
Mhm.
which is going to be about 40 vines worth. So,
But
you
it,
know,
but if it's okay, we can expand. We'll do it. We'll expand. But it's a beautiful white grape. Yes.
What temperature is best to serve that wine at, Brad?
Okay. I'm gonna go American on you. Most Americans are gonna have it in their normal refrigerator. It's going to be cold. My preference would be pull it out of the refrigerator. If you're at 38, 39, pull it out of the refrigerator for 20 to 30 minutes, let it start warming up, get it into the 40s, mid 40s for me. And here's the thing, as the wine warms up, because this is a great wine that has complexity and character and other flavors,
you
it's
know,
going to.
our wine has been out for a while, and
Yes.
I would disagree with you. I think it
You like
needs
a little
a little
cooler?
warmer.
Oh no, that's not.
I'm
You were 100%
40,
correct.
40, 50 degrees is not. I'm thinking 60 degrees or so. Um,
I
you know,
agree. I agree.
you know,
Most people don't want to wait 20 minutes though after the refrigerator. But it's one of those things where most people are gonna, if you have a wine fridge and you have it set for your whites
yeah.
versus your reds, and you're gonna be in those, you're gonna be up in the higher 40s into 50, then that would be my perfect
Yeah,
temperature.
I just,
So,
again, I don't know the varietal, but I noticed that, we had it out of the fridge
yes.
and we had it, it's been sitting in my glass for at least 30 seconds. And,
And a long time to warm up.
and I'm noticing that it's becoming
Yeah.
a little more fruitier. It's gaining a little body.
I'm actually getting some of those apples that I was missing
Okay.
earlier. It's not just pear. So there's a couple. So I've got that nice minerally characteristic, that ocean air, that wet stone. I've got these beautiful ripe pears. We were talking about Asian pear earlier, specifically versus maybe the American Bosc pear. And this wine should have just a little bit of apple for that nice crisp finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wonderful.
Yeah. I'm again,
Mm.
I think it's gotten actually nicer since it's warmed up.
Gosh,
Now,
you
what
know what?
else you got here?
I've got the burrata plate out here. I'm gonna grab myself a little of the
By
burrata.
the way, but have you noticed we're blowing the place up with things to eat?
Actually,
You
this
know,
is.
and now Eliza laid down the gauntlet here.
She did. And then other people were asking, what would you make with these entrees that we have given out? So
Yeah.
a fantastic burrata plate, a little prosciutto, a little burrata, of course, and then on a nicely toasted, a little toastette with this beautiful, you've got to get some arugula. I don't know if you can see that. So that's arugula with just lemon and olive oil and a little bit of pepper. And that lemon, olive oil, and pepper on this peppery piece of, what a salad, just really kind of brings things together as well.
Mm.
But
I
I'm
like-
kind of getting ready
just-
for
I like
the entree as well. Oh boy. Oh, toastiness from the bread, that nice lemon, olive oil, zesty, and that lemon and olive oil. And I know this already. I don't need to do the back and forth. That lemon
Yeah,
is gonna bring up some nice zesty character in the Albarino as well. Mm. Oh, okay, right now. Toasty, zesty, pepper, and then cream. I'll let Jim
Oh,
get
okay.
into that.
You know, the toastiness of the bread is really remarkable. You know, burrata has always got to be toasted on
Mm-hmm.
on toasted bread.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, fire bread like
Yeah.
barbecue bread.
Yeah, you got to get some flame on it.
And because it's the burrata needs to put out that, and the combination again is really quite nice. The saltiness of the prosciutto with this wine.
My glass keeps emptying. I'm either pouring way too small.
You
or
got a hole in
pour-
your glass.
But let's do it. No, so all right. I could eat this all day long, but I'm actually getting hungry for supper.
Okay.
So Jim was alluding to it. I think we're going to talk about it while I'm over there cooking because we're going to have a few minutes to cook. We're going to go ahead and make this dish live for you today. We'll see if it works out. But we're going to go ahead and head over to the our makeshift outdoor kitchen. We're going to whip up the dish. We're going to drink some more wine. And actually, if we're going over there, we probably are going to need another. We probably need another bottle. But I'll pour us a little heavy just so we can make it through the first couple minutes of cooking.
That's weird.
And we'll go with that. But seriously, and then so with the wine, that toastiness, you wouldn't expect. I'm gonna say that's unexpected when you have this dark, earthy note paired with this nice, bright pear. I just think the combination of these two things are.
I think what makes this wine is the unique acidity about it.
Mhm.
And the fact is that, you know, it went really well with this
Mhm.
extreme cheese.
Yep.
That sharp cheese. And it's going really well with the burrata, which is a more mild, you know, basically, you know, formed milk as far as I'm
You
concerned.
bring out a. Okay. This wine drink consumed on its own is fantastic on its own. Doesn't need food. Masks the acidity.
Mhm.
The acidity comes out when you pair it with food, and so it ends up making it that beautiful blend because you need good acidity to have a good food one. All right, let's get over to the outdoor kitchen.
Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna do what we're gonna call as a transition. It may work or may not. If we go blank for a second or two, hang out there. Stay with us.
We'll get there.
We'll be there. Do I need my glass? Probably should take my glasses just in case.
Yeah. We're going.
All right, let me get over to that kitchen. Woohoo! Come on, Fred. Let's see what's happening. Oh my gosh!
Yay!
Oh, look at us. We're over in my new outdoor kitchen. Isn't this great?
That's great.
Jim was Jim was thinking about building me a new outdoor kitchen. I think
You know,
this is going to work out pretty good.
yeah, right.
No.
I have to work on my outdoor kitchen first, young man. Okay.
All right, I need to get some olive oil hot. But hey, Jim, while I'm getting this thing going, because we do want to ask you guys some questions.
Oh, we're gonna do a poll today again.
So, Jim, to ask them,
All right.
get some questions out there while I get the oil hot.
Okay. Here's the dealio. Basically, we hope you guys like this kind of expanded kind of show, and we're kind of thinking of doing a grand finale in June with an expanded our winery families and everybody, and but we're kind of wondering, what I'm wondering about is does Sundays work for you guys? Does the time work for you guys? And you know, so we're going to do a poll around that. Okay. Okay, guys. So what I'd like to do is figure out what we're doing now. You know, Brad and I have been talking things over and thinking about our last hurrah of the year
And so this is going to be in June.
in June, because we can't ship too much after that. And the fact is harvest is coming, and I'm
We have a
grape
few
growing.
We have a
And
few things to
I got
do.
a couple of things to do, and so we won't be back on again until, you know, probably about October or so, I think.
Yeah, well, we'll get through the harvest and then we'll be back then. So we wanted to have a couple of really fantastic shows for y'all. And what was really important, and we want these to be family shows where you invite your friends over and we're cooking these big meals. I just don't want to get this thing burning or anything. Just got to get that shimmering. And so we're thinking about having, these larger formats where you would want to bring your friends over because, frankly, I'm going to start cooking.
Cook. Yeah.
But frankly, we're going to be seeing our friends in June too, because, we're getting vaccinated and everything's good. And so we want to bring our family members and our friends into this.
Yeah.
And we want you to as well. So that's what we're
And by the
thinking.
way,
We have
speaking of-
shimmering stuff.
yeah.
We're doing it.
you go cook. I'm going to tell another thing that's on my mind, and that is, we as a small regional area, the Alexander Valley, Geyserville, and Cloverdale, have been so fortunate to have the Alexander Valley Health Clinic out there giving us our vaccination.
That's for sure.
We, as an area, have one of the highest percentages of vaccinations in Sonoma County. Okay, and to me, we have to throw that out. And I want to give my complete thanks to the Alexander Valley Health Clinic, small grouping of folks that they had 3 extra doses. They call someone up and give it to somebody, and so it was pretty amazing to me that they knocked that out of the ballpark. And we're all feeling pretty comfortable these days with the fact that 85% of our area has been vaccinated completely, both shots.
That is the real deal.
Okay, yeah. So that's my thank you. Okay. So getting back to that, you are just magic there.
Oh, scallops, they're difficult. You got to get
I've
this.
never, I've ruined more scallops than you've ever seen in your life.
You have got to. Oh my gosh, you get some good. I call it crustification. You've got to get them crusty, but you do have to start. And it was in the recipe. You've got to start with a dry scallop. The difference between a dry scallop and a normal scallop is that it's not been injected with the saline. So we're going to be able to get a good crust on this thing. And you got to get the right flame. We're on the outdoors here, and there's nothing wrong with peeking, making sure. Oh, actually,
Oh, it smells great.
we're looking really good there. But what's that? Oh, we should probably put the pasta in now.
Okay,
That's
Danny.
Danny's been
Danny
reading
wants
the
to step
video. All
over
right, here we go.
and put the pasta in.
Come on.
Okay.
All right, Danny's been reading the recipe, so Danny's gonna get that going. Thank you, Danny. Our resident chef, making sure that all these fun things are happening. But please let us know if you like those time frames. We want to keep it on Sunday. We're feeling pretty good about it. We
Yeah.
would love it to still be on Sunday, but is the 4:30 Pacific Standard Time work? Would you like it to bump up a little bit? Do you need it to bump back? Because we're trying to accommodate the East Coast, West Coast.
Exactly. But more than that, I'm this whole concept is relatively new around, and we're working to do it.
Absolutely. All right. The smell of
Yeah, it
scallops.
smells
Yeah.
good.
I mean, I'll give you a little. We're
Well,
getting
we-
there. All right.
Hey, by
Now-
the way, I didn't mention that we have JJ behind again, and Jude on the computer, and so you got questions or even just comments. I'm happy to hear it. I mean,
Yeah. Hey, Jude,
um,
can you see? Is anybody else cooking their scallops right now with us? Because I've got oil going everywhere. I'm glad I bought this new oilcloth because.
I don't.
Oh, man, we are at a
I
minute
didn't
and a
know they
half.
made these anymore.
You got to get them from Ace Hardware. Garrett's is the only place on the planet you can get those things
Oh, no
anymore.
good.
All right, get that down. That oil is making it even hotter. All right, looking good. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
holy mackerel! All right, so we're just gonna flip these guys over. Oh, Jim, come on now. That's a sear.
I'm checking it out.
That's a
Actually,
sear.
It's
That's
getting
what
a
we're looking
little better,
for.
smell-wise.
Holy mackerel! All right, Danny, could you go? Hey, Danny, could you please go get my my Dutch oven because I don't have an actual oven out here because Jim hasn't built my new kitchen yet. But once Jim gets a new kitchen for me, I'll have an oven. So we're going to use a Dutch oven to keep these guys warm while I'm
Do you know what
fixing everything else.
glacial time is like? You know, I built my house, you know, by living in a tent, but it took me 20 years to finish the house. Okay.
I'm just
You know, once you move in and you have a roof over your head, you know, getting the toilet finished is not that big a priority. Okay. Or a wall in the bedroom. And
oh,
so,
all right. Well, we'll just all right. Least you could do is run a big old cable so we can have solar power when we run out. Oh, Danny, what we got? Oh, is there something underneath there that's going to get melted? There we go.
there
Perfect.
we
All right.
go, okay.
Don't touch.
No, no.
Yeah, leave that on
When you're
top so I
ready,
can get
when
there.
you're ready.
Thank you. All right. So actually, here's something that's exciting. So I flipped these guys, and even my dry scallops got really wet.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get a great sear on the bottom, and these guys are going to get overdone. So what I'm going to do is I'm pulling them out right now. I'm going to lower my temperature. I think there we go. We're going to lower that down, and we're going to get these scallops transferred over because I was waiting to see if I was going to get some sear, but I'm not. But that's okay because we got a really good sear on top.
That's gorgeous.
But if I let these guys go for another 30 seconds while this moisture boiled off,
Yeah.
we would have rubbery,
Hockey
horrible.
puck.
Yeah, not good.
Like
Not
I
good.
normally, like I normally cook scallops.
Oh, I
Is
can't
what you're
believe
saying.
that. I have tasted so many of your fantastic meals. But that is the key there. So it's the
Well, you know, the special stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Eliza with her, you know, with her pressure cooker,
Mhm.
cooking that risotto.
fixing things.
I mean,
That's right.
that knocks it out of the ballpark. You doing this, I've never done before.
All right. So we're gonna get that. Hi, Fred. We're gonna get that temperature not too high, not too low. We're looking pretty good. Should I put my butter in now? I think that's next. Hey, Magic. Hey, Danny, the chef. What should I do? Butter first. All right. We're gonna get some butter in there. We're gonna get this pan going. Then the shallots next. All right. That sounds good. Get that going. Oh wow. No, we're looking good in the neighborhood there. That's looking fine. So we're gonna do some shallots next. And the shallots going first because if they get a little caramelization on it, it's good. But if the garlic burns, that's not good. So we're gonna get the shallots in first. Get those going.
Shallots a little garlicky anyway.
Aren't they almost closer to a garlic than garlic?
I don't know.
Well, they're milder.
And I introduced you.
Yeah.
I introduced you to wild.
Which I was gonna show you. My wild onion is doing fantastic, by the way. I've got it in a great spot. Oh, I'm cooking. Okay, there we go. So shallots,
Sorry.
they're doing their things. All right, we've got our butter. So it's a lemon garlic butter sauce. Got to have the butter. The shallots looking good. We'll get the garlic in, and that is a good amount of garlic.
I like garlic.
Oh man, and that is a lot of garlic. All right, here we go. As this thing is sizzling along, the garlic is only 15, 20 seconds. How are we doing over there?
Oh man.
All right, that's looking
Oh,
good. We
man,
can start
that's so-
smelling that.
Oh man.
Hang on a
I
second,
love
I'm
that.
thirsty. You think I should turn it down? All right, we're gonna turn it down. I just don't. It's breezy. I don't want it to die. Ooh. All right, now we're really gonna start deglazing the pan. So we're gonna put in a little bit of that lemon juice. I've got that infused with the red peppers right now. So we've got that. We've got the chicken stock.
Use it with red peppers in it.
I did because I ran out. You see, I did these cooking shows, and I only bought so many of these cute little and I only had one left, so I had to put them both together.
Okay.
So the red peppers, but I have a feeling it's kind of brought it out. We'll find out. So I'm actually going to kick the table back up. So we're because we got to get that baby deglazed, and then we're going to get that was our chicken stock going on. We're going to get that back up to the boil. Oh, there it goes pretty quick. That's awesome. Having it's worth the money to get a fancy all-clad pan, but here's where it's going to get dangerous. Here's the wine. So if it flares up a little bit, be careful. If it doesn't, that's okay too.
That's perfect.
Look at that. I actually prefer it not to flare up. It's only fun for the folks on TV. I'm going to stir this up a bit with this.
Emerald.
So we need to, there we go. We need to deglaze that. So that's all fond on the bottom. We got to get that.
Golden delicious
Oh,
flavor.
that's where all the
Flavor
flavors
crystals.
are at.
Flavor crystals.
It's just like Folgers. Just don't say flavor challenge slide. All right, now we've got, oh, we need to throw a little salt and pepper. There's a little salt, there's a little pepper, there's some parsley, there's some tarragon, and then I need the asparagus because the asparagus needs to get cooked. And so these guys are awesome. Oh boy.
And this is asparagus season. So.
It- You think I chose it because of that? I did. I was thinking, what's fantastic? Let's
man.
add the
This is-
asparagus
this
in there.
Right on for the season.
So we're, oh man. And since we've got, we're making a little bit more for 4 since we've got so many staff members behind the scene. So our pan's going to get awfully full here
no
because that was a little bit more asparagus than we had, but nobody wants to be stingy with asparagus. So right now I probably have 2 minutes. So in that 2 minutes, we can relax and have some more fun. Oh, wait, a little bit of Parmesan goes in. Got to get a little Parm. And again, oh, that whole, how much Parmesan do you put in? This is the microplane Parm, so it's a big, it looks like a giant amount,
Fluffy.
but it's fluffy. This is hardly any Parmesan.
Yep.
That's
You need
awesome.
it to melt there.
Then
So
I'm gonna,
good, actually.
that's gonna
Actually,
thicken it up.
these-
So our chef Danny says that is, oh, there's some salt left over. Let's see if that's okay. And then we're gonna get cleaned up so we can be ready to go. All right, my spoon, stir, stir, stir. All right, my asparagus is getting that beautiful bright green. We're gonna be
Just staying
going
out of the
for,
way here.
we're going for al
I don't wanna
dente.
be injured by all the elbows here.
Oh man. All right. So now is our, this is the part where you can take a second, but you got to be careful because we're going to try to reduce this a little bit to intensify those flavors. So we're going to want it to boil, but our asparagus, we don't want to be overcooked. So we've got that little dichotomy
But
in
isn't
there.
your pasta going to soak up some of the
Jim,
juices?
check your microphone.
Oh.
Brad,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just,
Hello?
oh, the top.
where'd it go?
Here, I can share mine with Jim if he
No,
needs
no,
it
no.
there.
It's got.
How is the, actually, well,
Hey,
Jim,
man.
but where's it at? Is it done? Oh, we're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect. I'm about done here too. Okay. All right, things are looking really good. The Albarino's in there.
Sorry
I've got my
about that.
plates.
Shirt swallowed up the.
Gotta have fresh Albarino. We've got our other things. I'm pretty confident on the asparagus. I just tasted one a second ago. My scallops are ready to go. Let me just double check. There's only one way to see if it's al dente.
That's right. Let's eat it.
Now, it's going to continue to cook as things are going on. I think it's time to bring the pasta water in because you see I still have some liquid here. The pasta water, as I bring the pasta in, it's going to be dripping some pasta water in it as well. And that'll help it reduce. So I'm going to say that my asparagus is probably about 2 or 3 minutes from actually being done if I'd leave it. So I'm going to throw some pasta in.
There you go. Go for it.
And then that pasta is going to finish cooking in this sauce. And then all of that wonderful juicy scallop action is going to get infused with the pasta.
Well, you know, for me, I mean, for pasta has to cook in the juices.
Absolutely.
I
That's
mean,
why
it
we
does.
get it al dente
What?
until it goes into the pan sauce.
Right.
I
okay.
thought we tried to get it
And it's gonna
Alfredo.
Soak up everything.
Exactly. It's like stew and pot roast and stuff. It's
Oh.
always better the next day.
Absolutely.
It's always better,
Absolutely.
it's always better the next day because it's had a chance to.
Soak up
Soak in.
all
All right.
the goodness.
Yeah,
So
that's
there's a little juice. You guys probably experienced this. There's still a little juice inside. Where's this juice going to go? It's going to get soaked up by the pasta. It's going to be fantastic. In that last couple of minutes, it's going to finish cooking the asparagus.
Boy. That actually
That
looks.
looks great.
Oh, and I can still smell the scallops in there, so we haven't lost that oceany. Oh, is that pay attention? Oh, I thought that was the pay attention look from
There's
Matt
a lot of looks you're
well,
gonna get.
from
we're
That's
just
just one of them.
we're just
from
standing
Master
here
Chef Danny.
enjoying the fact that I'm not doing it.
Exactly. Me too.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
So we're about a minute or 2 minutes away, so I can get my
Let me
plates
get
ready to go. So
your
yeah,
plates here.
get the
That's
fancy
for you
plates.
guys. Okay, don't forget your garnish.
No, garnish is super
All
important.
right.
That
Alright.
prosciutto really okay, the Italians
out the
use,
way.
how do Italians salt their food? With anchovies and prosciutto.
Ah,
That's it. Not a bad thing.
No, so it brings it in. All right, so see, Jim, we've got just a little bit of sauce left. It's almost
Okay.
gone.
No
So
kidding,
by time I plate this, that
And then
sauce is going to be
scallops are right in
completely
there.
absorbed.
Ah,
All
right.
right, we're done.
Look, I'm just gonna.
I'm
drink
calling it
Brad's
done.
side. He's so busy.
It's out.
He's so busy.
And I'm gonna take my glass over that way.
All right,
Jim.
Well, I'm gonna
I'm
come
going to
back.
finish plating up, and I'll see you in a second. Or unless you're coming back to see me.
Come on.
All right, we're gonna try to. All right, if I'm being fancy, we'll twist the pasta just a little bit.
Okay.
Well, the asparagus you got to get with a spoon because it's not going out well with the tongs. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate that nicely. Get the pasta all kind of twisted up so it's nicely around. I'll make sure we save some for you guys, and then I'm gonna go back in.
Scoop up some of that juice.
All the juice.
Oh yeah.
And then we're going to get some more asparagus for you because you don't want to miss out on the asparagus because actually that's really a huge part of the pairing. So now that I'm getting the asparagus on top, see how nice that looks? Oh, absolutely fantastic. And then we're going to scoop up some more asparagus. We're going to toss that on.
Actually,
the
my
top.
family, my parents grew up in
Oh, my
Salinas, in the area there, which is
That's pretty asparagus-y down there.
that's asparagus
That's near
capital of
the
world.
All right,
Ready?
get some nice scallops.
So, scallop
pick out the pretty
action.
ones.
I am picking
There
out
you
the
go.
pretty
Those,
ones.
oh, there we go. Perfect.
There we go.
Very nice.
Now let's see how warm. Oh,
It
actually,
stayed
that was
nice and
perfect.
hot.
So hey, there's our pro tip: use your Dutch oven to keep your scallops warm. How nice is that?
Absolutely.
And then
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and garnish for it,
There
if
we
that's
go.
all right.
Go for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a little more parm, a little dusting. It looks so nice. Look at that. And then this is the deal.
Yeah, that's the
Here's
deal.
the deal. You a little bit of crispy prosciutto.
Now, how do you make that prosciutto?
Oh, it's so simple. You go to your local store, you get some high quality prosciutto,
Yep,
you throw it in the oven for about 20 minutes on 350. Next, pull it out. It's going to be a little soft. Give it 5 minutes to cool down, and you've got crispy prosciutto.
No kidding.
Mm.
I always thought you had to fry it.
Oh no! So yes, in the oven makes it so simple. Let's go
Nice.
have some fun.
Yay.
Let's see. Do we have wine over there?
You don't,
Grab an extra
You don't,
glass
but-
just in case.
but I'll get your wine for you.
Awesome. All right, we're back. Holy mackerel! Look at us, Jim.
Wahoo!
We're still on TV. We have moved location. How fantastic
know,
is that?
You gotta appreciate redundancy.
Oh my gosh. Well, so now Danny's going to go ahead and serve up everybody. He's going to get everybody else their fancy scallops and prosciutto and lemon and garlic. And let's see if it's going to go okay. Oh, man. I think it's going to be all right. Oh, let's
Oh,
dig
man.
in. So here's the thing. If I'm at a restaurant and doing anything, I'm going right for a scallop. I'm going right in to make sure that the scallop is okay.
My problem
Okay.
is I
Oh.
don't have enough wine in my glass.
You know, that's a weird. I have that exact same problem.
You
I think
know,
that's why
I
we're
noticed
such
that you
good
have a defective glass there. It seemed to me your glass
They
was
leak.
We got a question over there.
The re Yep. Jim?
Oh man. Okay.
I've
So-
been telling you,
Okay.
these people have the same. You see, here's the thing, Jim. We gave them our wine glass. They all leak.
Defective. More than
So we need to send more wine. And you're right. We need to send you
Okay.
more wine. But we were really trying to make this incredibly affordable for everybody. So
we
we should
talked-
probably.
we talked about reorder, right?
We haven't yet, but yes, everybody can reorder, and you're going to get the same fancy discount that they gave you the first time. I think
Yep.
it was a 20% discount,
Yep.
so you can reorder. Right now, hi Freddie. I've got currently about 25 or 30 cases of the Albarino left. So I was just talking with Jim that we need to make more Albarino this year. I'm going to make Albarino this year. We're going to make it happen. But it's going to take. We're going to be out of stock for a little while. So we've got about 25 to 30 cases left of the Albarino. So please let us know if you want some and we can get it out to you with no problem at all.
All right, surprise! I made some
What?
garlic bread to go along with this.
Excellent.
Look at
Sure.
this. little garlic bread to go along.
Every little Italian dish should have some.
Enjoy.
And he warmed the bowl as well. Don't
I'm
touch
go-
the hot bowl.
I'm going for it
That's
because you got to
fantastic.
have a pusher. If you're
Me
going to eat
too.
Italian food,
Well,
you
you
have to
gotta,
have a pusher.
especially a noodle, you gotta get it. You gotta get it on
I'm
the
talking
fork.
about. Yeah.
So I jumped in. I was enjoying the scallop. The scallop was, for me, okay. This is one of the dishes I've been making for a long time. Hi, Fred. I think that the scallops aren't rubbery. I think they have a nice texture to them. We were able to get the pasta done just in time, so the scallops didn't overcook. It's that brininess of the scallop that pairs so fantastically with the wine, in my opinion. And then you throw in some asparagus and the pasta.
You know, the thing that it impresses me about the flavors with the
Hmm.
scallops and the wine, that the scallop, the depth of the wine, and and that's kind of fascinating because when we talk about wine and food pairing, we always tend to think of the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
How the wine will impact the food
Food.
experience.
Elevates the food.
The fact is that a good pairing has to be a two-way street.
Coming back and forth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is good shit. I mean, this is
You know what?
stuff. Thank you.
You know what, Jim? That's the best compliment that I can get. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Um, Obviously, it's the first time that Jim's had this whole meal pairing. And then, once you get in there and have some asparagus with the prosciutto, tell me how you feel about that too, because the asparagus to me kind of works like the arugula did with the burrata plate. And here's what I'm okay. Besides getting the scallops not be rubbery or a hockey puck, having the asparagus cooked just enough to be al dente. The asparagus I bought, they tricked me. They threw giant asparagus into the center of the bunch, and they had all these little cute little babies on the outside. You really need to make sure your asparagus is all about the same size so it can all cook
Right.
properly. But the asparagus in the Albarino mixed with that garlicky lemon, and here's the deal: you're not going to see a lot of that. Was a whole lemon worth of juice in there. That is a lot of lemon juice, but you throw the butter and then you have the asparagus. And so for me, it's the whole package.
Now,
And then
and I got to
that
tell you,
salty prosciutto crispy. If you haven't ever oven baked your prosciutto, you
that's
should
what
do it.
that's what I've never done that, and
It's
you
so
know,
good.
and I like prosciutto,
Mhm.
and I like it in all the different kind of
On
ways.
its own.
Got a
Perfect.
question.
Not a problem at all. I go down there and I beg, borrow, and steal. Actually, Albarino is not the most popular grape in the United States. Most of you probably haven't heard of it. So it's not too hard for me to source my Albarino. The guys that are growing it because they love it and they know it. And so they're producing it very nicely. So it's not too hard for me to get grapes down there. Um, with the pasta flavor in my mouth, so I've got that lemon and garlic pasta. I've got the bite of the asparagus, which I think actually brings the dang whole dish together. And then the brininess of the scallop.
No, I'm
The wine is beautiful on its own, Jim, but with this meal, I think it's incredibly elevated.
well. My sense is that I'm getting a lot of that um, that thickening um, uh, flavor from the butter.
Yep.
And
Oh, plenty of butter.
the acidity of the Albarino.
Oh, I'm
wait,
sorry.
Excuse me.
We got to get the right temperature back in his glass because this was getting a little warm.
Uh, is really cuts through that
Yeah.
and it really complements it. It adds a kind of a lemon that's unusual.
Thank
No.
you.
What's interesting about the wine itself is that it's kind of a chameleon kind of wine in that
I agree
It-
100%.
it changes color by the the food that it's pushed against. And you know,
And
right.
honestly, Jim, you hit on the head. I didn't mention that earlier. Albarino, I love. I drink it on its own. I can have it on the patio and no food around it. But it is, and when you talk about wines that are just strictly food wines, I don't want to pigeonhole it that you have to have food with it because we enjoyed it without it.
Mhm.
It was a very nice wine.
Yeah.
It was okay. Some nice brininess, some nice pears, simple, fruity, fun.
Yep.
Great. Right now, this wine is, to me, sophisticated. And please let me know if you guys are thinking that this wine is more sophisticated now than when you had it earlier. And to me, and then there's not even any heat in there. We put a lot of that red pepper, but that background red pepper, I think, elevates this wine as well. I don't know. It's a great food wine. I'm just such a fan of Albarino.
Mhm.
And this specific dish is my favorite. Or okay, if you just gave me scallops, nothing else, scallops on scallops, I'd be totally fine. But this is a meal. It's really satisfying to my soul. It's hitting levels on my palate.
I really
There's
like.
even some umami in there. You know, there's those darker, rich
Mhm.
flavors
I
that I really
really
enjoy.
like the garlickiness of and the wine. What's surprising, the wine holds up.
Actually, Jim, great point. Go to a super high garlic dish, and Sauvignon Blanc can fall apart.
Most of the white
Chardonnay
wines.
will die with a high garlic. This one stands in there. There's a lot of garlic in this dish, but that nice roasty garlic on the background elevates this wine to be more spectacular. Anyway, this is why I was so excited when we had such a response and everybody wanted us to do a second dinner show and a show that involved some more things. And when we made that decision, this was the one that I had to have in the mix.
Yeah.
And this is fine with other white wines. I guarantee your Viognier will be fine with this, but the Albarino just has a special place in my heart.
Yep.
Because when I was there, everywhere in the north western regions of Spain on the other side of the Pyrenees, it's all about seafood.
Mhm.
I mean, you can't get away from tuna, and if you got away from tuna, you're having scallops. And it's just fantastic.
Yeah, I think this is really just a pairing.
Thank you.
Um,
So we're getting close, so we gotta get ready.
oh, that's the thing.
We're
that,
getting ready for dessert.
Well, I'm just saying, they're already.
I want to make sure I eat as much of this while it's still warm, because I don't want to have to eat it cold later. Because
No.
this dish is one of those dishes where it's great warm.
Yeah.
But
fresh is best.
yeah, I'm gonna a little bit of prosciutto onto my scallop. Get some salty and creamy. And again, toasty. Where honestly, hey Danny, next time we do the garlic bread, let's get a little toastier. I like those toasty notes with it. Put that on our recipe, and then we've got another question.
We got a couple of people that want to know when Jim's going to be planting the Albarino.
I think he's gonna butt over tomorrow.
And a lot of people
Oh, no,
saying
it's
that
too late. Dang it. Gotta be
combo
next year.
of food and the wine was really amazing, that the scallop seemed sweeter and everything was elevated because of the
Oh,
pairing.
Thank you.
So we
Thank
have
you.
that going.
For me, I gotta find the budwood source. Everybody knows I do my own grafting.
Yep.
Okay. So it's a different process than ordering up from a nursery. That isn't how it works.
Going out. Yeah. And here's the deal. And there's a big reason why.
Mhm.
Well, you can have it just like every other large corporation. Nurseries are part of those things. Or you can go to the source that has something more exciting. And I have a feeling that we're just going to hunt for the more exciting.
And I actually have to get something together pretty quick, because our my top grafting time that I would be doing it is like next month.
Oh, so we can do it right after bud break. That's a good time to do it.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I thought you would wait until they were dormant and bring them on.
No.
So right after, so the buds actually, I take it back. The buds broke a week or two ago.
Yeah.
So
we're
in the
gonna-
growing,
what I'm gonna do is
I get.
I'm gonna
All right,
top
this is
grab.
where Brad figured out things.
I'm gonna-
I get it.
actually,
There's nutrients coming up from the plant, so
Yeah.
it's gonna take care of your new buds.
Mhm.
Okay, I
Yeah.
figured it out.
Actually,
It's
it's
not that dumb.
it's actually it's a tricky deal because it could be too much nutrients and it could quite
Oh.
literally blow the bud off.
What?
Yeah,
No, no buds being blown
But-
off.
but the fact is that we do that. We're good at it. I've been doing it a long time.
Oh.
So I just need to figure out a source.
So what we need to do is we need to have more people chime in and tell Jim that this is an awesome project that he probably should do. That way we can pressure him into making shoes. I couldn't tell you how excited I would be if I could get Albarino from the Alexander Valley.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic.
Listen.
All right, let's.
You know,
Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It
That's
could,
right.
it could
We
be a
need to-
bust and it doesn't work. at all.
that's what you know the cradle is all about. That's where again people ask me all the time, how do you know what to grow? The answer is you don't.
Oh,
You don't until you plant it.
h-
Okay.
How does Bordeaux know what to grow? 3,000 years of people doing what you're doing today in Alexander Valley, planting multiple varietals and seeing what actually makes sense, and then making wine out of it and all of that, stuff. So, oh my gosh! All right,
Well-
I'm gonna have another bite or two, and then we'll get our dessert out here. Well, that was a big bite. Oh wow!
So the
Um,
general consensus with everybody that's backstage with me